Hi everyone and welcome to our channel. I am Sakib and today we are excited to take you into the journey of world of cybersecurity. At Zofec, we are specialized in delivering of top tier cybersecurity solution and system integration services. Our top-notch services or products are firewall, antivirus, IPS and IDS, email security solution, DLP, encryption, plus backup and storage. Today we will dive into one of the critical aspects of the data security, which is DLP, and later on we will demonstrate one of the leading product of the DLP, which is Cososys Endpoint Protector. Endpoint Protector is a product name. Cososys is a OEM, which is recently acquired by Netflix. So before jump into the demonstration, we will first understand what is DLP. DLP as in data leakage or data loss prevention. So DLP is a cybersecurity solution which protect your digital asset. It may be the intellectual property, personal identifiable information, and other confidential information. So DLP will protect your user to share or transfer the file, or maybe knowingly or accidentally leak the files or confidential information outside your endpoints or outside your company. So DLP play very important role to protect your digital asset, and which is as of now must for every organization. So let's quickly jump on this slide. Okay, we have prepared the slides by which I will give you the overview of the product. Here you will get an idea about what features we have in Cososys DLPs and how we can use on multiple cross platforms. So let's quickly jump on the slide. So as you can see over here, Cososys Endpoint Protector. So Cososys Endpoint Protector, as I already said, Endpoint Protector is a product name. Cososys is an OEM name, and recently Cososys has been acquired by Netflix. So it's a data loss prevention. We can say that data leakage prevention. Okay. I will quickly jump on the another slide, introduction. So it's a brief introduction about the product of DLP, okay, as written over here, enterprise grade data loss prevention, okay, which prevent data leak and theft while controlling portable devices. Plus, it's the USP of the product is which is support the cross platforms, as in it supports Windows, Mac and Linux. Okay. Most of the DLP devices in a market which is not supporting Linux as an endpoint DLP. Okay, and make sure it's a endpoint DLP. Okay, endpoint as in your laptop, desktop, your end users who are working on the endpoints. You dealing with the confidential files, information on the system. You can protect over the endpoints. Then protect the data from insider threats. Insider threats, we need to understand why we are saying insider threats. Okay, your employee, as we earlier said, employee maybe intentionally or accidentally, leak the data. Intentionally, as in maybe the crude employee, or we can say that the competitor, activity. Or maybe it's a world now. Everybody is looking after to start their own business, okay, as a startup. So right now they're working as an employer, so they might gather as much as data whatever they have in their organization, maybe customer detail, your trade secret, how your designs and every other stuffs. Okay, so rude employees sometimes the employee who is not cyber aware, okay, you don't have the cyber security awareness trainings in your organization, so they are not aware. Might be possible they while browsing they accidentally visit some malicious website and click on the link where it will create some download some kind of malware which will create CNC connection, and they can do a large at a large stage, or maybe bulk data upload, which we in technical language we are saying the data exfiltration. Okay, so this solution protects from the insider threats. Okay, and the last one is ensure the compliance with regulation. Okay, so all the regulations are covered in this particular solution. Some of popular regulations like GDPR. Okay, if your organization in Europe Union, you are working in the European Union, EU, or maybe you are as a service provider sitting over here in India and providing your services in European region, so you have to have comply with GDPR. Then HIPAA. If you are not in a medical industry or pharmaceuticals, so you have to have compliance with HIPAA or sometime high tech. Then PCI DSS, whether you are BFSI and BFC, banking customers need to be comply with PCI according to the RBI guidelines. So these are some popular, I can say that regulators. Apart from that, GDPR, we are comparing the GDPR with DPDP, which is India's Data Protection Bill 2023, which has been right now in action from 1st September 2024. So GDPR is based on personal identifiable information, how you will handle your end users data, and there is an stringent control end user can have on the supplier or any website, and website holders or the owners have to take the consent from the end users or maybe from their customers. So we are comparing DPDP with GDPR. So later on, this, if you will get a report, so you can present this particular solution for DPDP as well. I will quickly jump on my third slide, which is a key feature. This slide is very, very important as a customer. Okay, if you're looking for any cybersecurity DLP solution, so here in the Cososys Endpoint Protector, they have 4 licensing band, I can say that. Okay, you can opt, these all are the licenses separately or combinedly. Okay, I can say that it's a core of the product. It's 4 tenets of this product and the key features. The first one, as you can see over here, which is device control. So device control is very important aspect when you start your DLP or data leakage journeys, okay, to avoid any accidental leak, unauthorized access of your files, folder, confidential information. So one of the easiest way is to copy those content on pen drive, storage devices, or maybe mobile devices. Okay, so it has to be controllable. Okay, you can straightforward restrict the users to use pen drive, or maybe you can set up policies. Okay, policies as in these users cannot be these type of, so you can create a multiple groups, or maybe user level, or maybe a particular device. These user cannot copy paste the data and directly restrict. You can allow the user as a time-based access. One of the use case over here, for example, if you have a mobile user, okay, Sakib, he is in a sales team, maybe, or Sakib maybe in some designing team. If you are in a designing and your trade secret is your designs, okay, and he is frequently traveling, okay, and he might probably most of the time have to have the access of the pen drive, okay, and maybe he's traveling. So you can give the time-based access, okay, let's say for 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour day, 2 day. After that stipulated time, it's automatically disabled. Okay, so we can give the time-based access, okay, which is very important for the organization who has blocked and they don't want to hamper their operations. So we can give the time-based access as well. Then I'll quickly jump on the content-aware protection, which is the second tenet and one of the, I can say that, the core feature of this particular product. Content-aware protection, as in you can create a policies policies as in on the basis of context and content, characters and keywords, regex. So let's say, for example, as I say, regex. So on the basis of regex, you can create a policy. So whoever trying to copy any data on any channel, let's say pen drives or over the email or maybe on any file repositories like OneDrive, Share Drive. So that particular document is trying to upload, attach or transfer outside, having some kind of regex, like for example pen card, Aadhaar card or other file format of the documents. So let's say license details are there, so it will detect on the basis of that regex, like this particular document have the confidential information and these particular XYZ users trying to send outside your network. So as per the action, if you have block, set a block policy, it will directly deny or you will not get the permission to share outside your network. If you are in monitoring mode, it will give you the logs. And in this way, let's say for example keyword basis, I have set a policy like wherever my company name Zofec is written in any document, so that it should be in a scrutiny. Okay, and according to whatever the action you have set, it will take the action accordingly. Okay, so content awareness is very, very, very important. Okay, there are lots of policies, predefined templates are available. In next video, when we will give the console walkthrough, in a policy we will showcase like at what level you can set these policies. Like let's say for example, I have taken the example of regex. So according to country, according to state, okay, there are predefined templates are available. Let's say for example, Indian, there is a category where you can select the Indian ID proof. Okay, so where you will existing policies are there, like to capture for license, for pen card, for Aadhaar card, for smart card. Okay, so these smart card, ATM card, so these is predefined policy you will set. So wherever in any document, any mail body as well, somebody is trying to copy or share, it will detect and you can take the action. I'll quickly jump on the enforced encryption. What is the enforced encryption? Enforced encryption is as you can understand, like it's a removable media encryption. Okay, as in let's say I'll take an example by which you will easily understand. It uses a strong cipher KES 256. Okay, so this is one of the important feature in while considering any DLP. You need to have removable media encryption. I will take one example of removable media encryption. Let's say for example, due to some business use case, you have to give the access of the pen drive, plus you need to ensure that those confidential information at any cost, it should not be leaked or by any accidental incident or maybe any crude attack. So you have an option, as I already said. This will use AES 256 bit encryption, which is the strongest cipher. Okay, and you can easily plug the pen drive in his or her device to whom you wanted to give the access of the pen drive to copy paste in a secure manner. Okay, so you just plug those that particular pen drive in the endpoint and encrypt that. So once you will encrypt that particular pen drive, it will create secure vault with username and password, and now that particular user can easily copy the data on that particular pen drive and he can carry that pen drive. So in case accidentally if he lost the pen drive, somebody get the pen drive, so he will get only the gibberish content. Okay, rather than getting the confidential information, he will only get the gibberish content. For example, if user wanted to access that particular pen drive, it should be that particular endpoint should be have Cososys endpoint installed. Then only he will get an access of that pen drive, otherwise not. So if user is using that particular encrypted pen drive and he's trying to copy the data on his personal device, so he cannot be able to do, because on that personal endpoint Cososys agent is not installed. So easily we can understand like that particular pen drive can be usable among the team member who is having the company owned devices where the Cososys endpoint is installed but cannot be used on the personal device. And second, and on a second we can say that a second layer of protection is, if lost the pen drive, data will not be usable for anyone. Okay. Last but not least, e-discovery. As you can see, the e-discovery here, which is again one of the important key features for the organization. Let's say, for example, where the users are working from 10 to 12 years, and they might get multiple time transfer, or his job responsibility has been changed. Okay, so sometimes they might have the access of the data which should not be right now. Have to have for the principle of least privilege, according to principle of least privilege, and need to know. Okay, so the data which is at rest from so long, okay, you can identify by this particular feature. You can simply on particular user endpoint or group of the user, you can run e-discovery. It will give the detail like these all are the files on this XYZ particular system, which is standalone since long time. That will be a confidential data. Okay, so you will have the access of that particular data from centralized console along with the detail. You can encrypt that particular data from directly the centralized console. You don't need to have the access of the endpoint. You can directly encrypt from the centralized console, or you may directly delete that particular data. So it will help accidentally leak the data. Okay, or you in this way you can have the idea like how many not use it so since long this particular data is not in use, it's data at rest, and whether it's a confidential or any personal identifiable information, whether it's secret of your organization, and which is lie on some important feature, I can say. So as you can see over here, it's cover all the platforms, Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. Only the enforced encryption will not work on the Linux. Okay, rest all will be work on cross-platform. I'll quickly jump on the another slide. Okay, here's some key benefits. Yes, it's easy to install and manage. Sometimes customer have the impression in their mind like it's a DLP advanced solution. How we can manage this? How we will install this and maintain the life cycle. So it's not that. It's very easy, and within 30 minutes, this console is up and running, and you can deploy the agent and set a policy. That's it. Keep in mind, DLP is a policy-based approach, policy-based solution. It's not a signature-based solution. So whenever you start the journey, it will take 1 or 2 months to get matured the policies, because most of the time you will create a policies according to your organization instruction, and later on you need to check. So it will take 5 to 6 weeks. Okay, after that it will become a matured in your organization. It's very easy to use. Then predefined compliance policy we have already discussed, like it will cover GDPR, CCPA, HIPAA, PCI DSS and others. Cross-platform protection, yes, it will cover Mac, Windows, Linux, all the three major platforms it's covered. Detailed report you will get. Okay, because as of now most of the organization, they are doing the internal audits, and during the audits, auditor asks for some kind of activity tracking of the files and folders. So in this way you will get in detail of each and every endpoint, whatever data they have moved from one place to another place. Okay, so you will get a detailed about each and every systems and files. And in some time in a disaster situation, you might fall under some kind of attack where during the investigation, we need to have the logs like who have copy, or maybe, for example, I think one of the use cases, like for example, your company's confidential financial information has been leaked over the open internet, or maybe on the dark web. Now you wanted to understand, you need to create a RCA, like who all are involved in that. So from the Cososys console, you can download this activity report, and with the help of that, so you can easily do the threat hunting. You can find out who is a good employee or the employee who has accidentally leaked this data, and you can create a RCA for that. Flexible deployment option and granular policy granularity. I can say in Cososys endpoint is very, very good, because there are multiple interdependent policies you can create, and even the users, especially they have they have like some of the organization who is having who have coders. Okay, so their code is very important. Okay, sometimes they have very they are concerned about, like their programmer will not accidentally copy those data outside somewhere. So we have a set of predefined rules for coding as well. Okay, which will feasible for all the languages. Okay, so in this way, policies are very granular. Here we can create a stringent policies to protect your data. I quickly jump on the another slide, which is DLP for enterprise. Okay, why we say the DLP for the enterprise? Okay, because it's have all the features of endpoint security, and product is stable, which is used in most of the enterprises. So here you can say that it's a client server communications, client server architecture. So from the management console, you can take the action, set up policies, whatever you wanted to perform, you can perform from the centralized console. You have a full control on all the endpoint. Seamless integration is very important. Like now SOC is there. One of the everybody wanted to have their own SOC, and there are lots of noise around EDR, SDR. Okay, so SOC is one of the important aspect, and SIM is one of the SIM is the heart of the SOC, I can say that. So we can have the integration with the SIM and even with the AD to get a user detail, predefined user detail. You can directly populate by integrating the AD in that. User remediation to avoid the user or reduce the IT overhead. You can create a user remediation policies, like if you wanted to give the access to some privileged users, and you wanted to just have the record, like which kind of files folder the activity is performing. So you are not going to set any action like deny or vertex. You will be in a deny the request. They will get simply the question answer over there. Okay, you need to justify why you wanted to transfer the specific sensitive information, and then he is able to do. So in this way, we can reduce the IT overhead. This is one of the business use case for most of the organization, where they need to reduce the IT overhead. Okay. Device control. Yes, here are the list of the I can say that the bold points are there. You can set right granular policies, device type, specific device based policies. You can set. You can block the pen drive. You can allow the pen drive. You can specifically on the basis of class ID, device ID, specific pen drive you can allow in your organization. Rest all the brands, all the pen drive will be blocked. We will cover this in our console walkthrough. Okay, just have a look on the bold points like file tracking. We have already discussed. We can have the reporting that we will do the file tracking, offline temporary password. Like users are traveling and in emergency situation where you wanted to have the access of the pen drive. So yes, we can give the time-based access, 1 hour, 2 hour, week time. After that particular stipulated time, the provided access would be revoked. Okay, so in this way, these all are the high bullet points. Okay, on all this point, around all this point, we can set up policies and we can protect our data. I'll quickly jump on the next slide, which is encryption. Enforced encryption. We have already discussed the enforced encryption. It's a removable device encryption, support Windows and Mac OS, and with this feature we can encrypt the pen drive and avoid accidental loss of data. I will quickly, and yeah, one more point what we have not discussed, like password management and report wipe. Let's say, for example, user if the device is compromised, and device that particular removable device is connected with the laptop or desktop, so we can do the remote wipe. Data will be automatically wiped from that particular pen drive, and even we can give the automatic deployment in read-only. We have already discussed the content aware protection. So again, it supports Windows, Mac and Linux, all the platforms. These all are the bullet points. Around these all the points we can set up policies to protect our data. We can create a file name deny list, file location deny list, granular expression deny list, outside hours and outside network policy, domain and URL allow list, print screen clipboard monitoring. We can even restrict the users to print the confidential data over the printer. Transfer limit we can set, contextual and context scanning. As I said, we can create a character, or you can with the base of keyword you can identify the document is confidential or not, and accordingly the policy will be applicable on that. So in this way, these all are the points. Again, in over a console dashboard, we will let you know each and everything in a detail, like how can you set up policies and other stuff. Again, I will quickly jump because this video I already very much long. I will quickly jump on the last e-discovery. Windows, Mac, Linux, and we cover. Automatically you can set a scan at a scheduled scan time. It will scan the system and give you the detail. And you can say you can set a threshold for the filtering. It will comply with GDPR and HIPAA, and file name deny list you can create. And in this way, you can identify the confidential information data at rest in your organization. You can have the action on that. Because I will take one of the use case over here. As I said, let's say for example, file server you are using from 5 to 10 years. There might be multiple users. They are using centrally. And the data which is lie on that particular file server since long. So you don't have any control on data at rest, because all the solution which is working, which needs some kind of action, file transfer or anything, then only it will detect. By this feature you can identify like these all are the data from so long it's not being used, so why it's on the data and rest. You can have the one by one check all those information. Sometimes you will find some confidential information which is lie on that file centralized, and if somebody will have the access of that, if we will download or share some outside of your network, so it will become a threat again for your organization. So in this way you will have the idea, and centrally you can encrypt that data, delete that data. You will get the control on the data. At last slide, I believe 100% deployment flexibility. The solution is very flexible. If you wanted to have SaaS product, which your centralized console management, and by the vendor itself, we will get as a SaaS product services. We can say that a cloud service where only you will get a URL link, so you authenticate with username and password, and you will get a console, and you need to only manage the endpoints. Then if you have a virtual environment, yes, you can install over the VM. We also created our lab on the VM. Any of the public cloud, if you wanted to install over the public cloud, you have infrastructure as a service, or workload over the cloud, so you can host this over the cloud as well. Again, a USP of the product, it protects endpoints, cross-platform, Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. So thank you all. If you want to have a demonstration, POC of this product, you can reach out to us. Okay, you can directly contact us from our website on this number. In next video, we will showcase you console walkthrough, policy creation, what all are the policies we can create, and we will test those policies as well on one of the endpoint of the virtual machine by accessing the pen drive, uploading the data over the cloud, uploading the data by attaching to the email. So you will see in our next video. So thank you everyone. I understand the video is long, but we try our efforts to give you the overall idea about the DLP and this particular processes. So thank you very much. Yeah, bye.